How you do that?
He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermaine Buxio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermaine Buxio, streaming out of the, I can't even say it anymore, the great state of Minnesota. I should really be saying the crime-filled state of Minnesota, in the crime-filled city of Minneapolis. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Let me tell you something. Today is a fantastic day. Today, in my personal opinion, should be a national holiday. It should be. Don't you think? I think today should be a national holiday. There are so many folks who are mad, mainly liberals and women, mad, upset that the status quo ain't the status quo anymore. Let me tell you. So I think it should be a national holiday. I really do. Because I'm telling you, if you've seen the rhetoric coming from the left today, you've seen the rhetoric just on your timeline. You have females from here to Pakistan putting down that, I want the government out of my thing. I want the government out of my... That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And let me tell you something. It's crazy. It is. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. We got some stuff to talk about today. Some folks gonna be mad. Some folks gonna be mad. And some folk gonna be happy, let me tell you. Well, we definitely gonna have a talk today. So make sure you do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Shout out to Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis asking, how are you doing, Jermaine? How's the healing? Healing's going okay. It's going okay. Let me go ahead and make sure. I made you a mod, Jerry Lewis. You should be a mod on my channel. Yeah, healing's going okay. Still dealing with a lot of pain. I'm managing, but I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. In the Army, we would say the soldiers are still bitching. So I'm still bitching. What can I say, right? What can I say? All right, well, absolutely. Shout out to the folks on Facebook. Shout out to the folks on YouTube. Shout out to y'all. Without further ado, let's get rocking. I'm ready to fly. Hopefully you are too. Make sure you guys do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. First one up. First one up here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to speak to you guys about a business that is responding to backlash over what they call a controversial Juneteenth sign. Now, you guys know that this crazy holiday that got passed last year called Juneteenth, right? Apparently this year a lot of people, took part in this holiday, Juneteenth. A lot of people were, cooking chicken, eating watermelon, breaking out the turkey legs. And there were some folks out there, let me tell you, who didn't decide to participate. And those people, seems to me, have been really persecuted. I want you guys to take a look at this. When it comes back, I want to speak about it. Business being persecuted because of their Juneteenth sign. Here we go. Make sure you share. Here we go.
We begin with a story that has people here in Maine and beyond talking.
It starts with a social media post showing a racist sign posted to the door of a Millinocket business regarding this week's Juneteenth holiday. News Center Maine's Carly Dion has the details.
It was extremely upsetting.
A community outraged.
I was appalled.
On social media, this Facebook post shared more than 9,000 times and counting. This sign posted to the window of Reed Agency Insurance in Millinocket, reading, Juneteenth, it's whatever. We're closed. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. Plenty of people online disgusted. Melanie Higgins put the sign up.
I would never purposely set out to hurt anyone, and I would never purposely set out to hurt my mom's business at all. She had nothing to do with this.
Melanie Higgins' mother, Karen, has owned Reed Agency for more than 30 years. Just the two of them work there. Higgins says she posts signs to the door ahead of every holiday they will be closed, often trying to make them lighthearted and comical, showing examples. This one for Memorial Day reading, thank you to all service members for your sacrifice for this country, a country now that is going to hell in a handbasket faster than my dog stealing a piece of pizza off the counter. Now that I mention pizza, I'm craving it. Remember, the more you weigh, the harder you are to kidnap.
I truly apologize. I'm mortified that this is even happening.
Higgins says she had a rough week last week, and when she wrote the sign Friday, she was in a rush to go home for the weekend. As this post continues to circulate social media, she says they've had to take their phone off the hook.
We are receiving death threats. We are receiving phone calls that's calling us really inappropriate words.
Higgins says she hopes she can make things right and that people will accept her apology. Many people online pointing fingers at the town being a racist community. Millinocket's town manager, Peter Jameson, wants to set that record straight.
We feel very strongly that, we just have no place for this in our community.
Millinocket's town council chair, Steve Gottlieb, says they are in the process of discussing how they want to move forward and making one thing clear.
An unfortunate incident like this does not characterize who we are as a community.
A community, he says, is accepting, inclusive, and respectful to all. In Millinocket, Carly Dion, News Center, Maine.
Melanie Higgins has hung up a sign of apology on the door.
I bet
she says
she did.
She hopes it will help heal the feelings of those she has hurt. The
Oh
sign reads,
yeah, I'm
quote,
sure
"We are
she
deeply
hurt some
sorry
folks'
for the
feelings.
turmoil our door sign has
Let
caused
me
this
stop it
community."
here.
The person has been reprimanded.
Let me stop it, and the person's been reprimanded. You white folks deserve. Let me tell you something. Back in my day, my daddy would give me an ass whooping. He would take off his belt when I'm doing something wrong, and he would whoop my ass. Some of you white folks out here doing this type of crap here deserve an ass whooping. Who gives a crap who's mad or who's hurt off a gosh darn sign? There was nothing wrong with this sign. As a matter of fact, if you ask most black people what they ate on Juneteenth, do you know what they gonna tell you? For you white folks who got your panties in a bunch. Let me tell you what them black folks gonna tell you what they ate. They ate collard greens, gosh darn watermelon, and chicken. Just like this sign said. Let me go ahead and show this sign again. Just like the sign said, most black folks on Juneteenth ate fried chicken, collard greens. They probably had some turkey legs, turkey neck, gosh darn it, steak. They had everything. There's no reason why you need to sit there and apologize. And you see the white splaining of the town, right? Oh my gosh, I just want everybody to know that we are not racist. This one incident here, I just want people to understand here. This one incident here does not make up the town, okay? We are not racist. We're inclusive. We include transgenders. We include monkeys. We include dogs. We include rabbits too. You white folks better stop it. Stop. Hold on. Stop. Stop it. Let me tell you, stop. Black folks don't care about this. The people who are complaining about this, let me tell you something, are usually raised by the mama. Either the single black mama or a single white mama. One of them. And you know what else they doing? Complaining and trying to get a one-up on ya. Trying to get some sort of political, economical advantage. I want white Americans to understand. Black folks talk the worst about ya. And I don't see black folks sitting here saying, you know what, I'm sorry about calling that white person mayonnaise. I'm sorry about calling that white person the devil. I'm sorry about calling that white person a white supremacist. You don't get that. I want white people to understand you're not getting that. When you're doing this, you're kowtowing to the BS. That's what you're doing. You kowtow to it. You might as well get on your knees, bend over, grab a tub of Vaseline, and you know what the deal after that. You might as well do that. Makes no sense in the world to comply with terrorists like this. None. They are destroying this woman's business because she put a sign up for Juneteenth that says, Juneteenth, it's whatever. We're closed. Enjoy your fried chicken and collard greens. Because she put a sign up like this, everybody in the town got to duck for cover. I want folks to understand that. Everybody in the town now got to duck for cover because a white person put up a sign like this. You got the mayor over there on, doing commercials. Say, hey, I just want everybody to know we're not racist. We're inclusive. All right. We include monkeys and hippos. Absolutely. That's how crazy it is. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is our world today. And it's our world today because we have failed to stand up where it is needed. I want folks to understand. That's how crazy it is. That's how crazy it is. So I wanted people to see this. Shout out to George Neemstead. He said they eat yams too. Absolutely. They certainly you know they eat yams. You know that. George says nobody has a sense of humor. Nobody does. I mean, my goodness gracious. Somebody putting up a sign like this, that means that they need to be thrown out of business. That means that they're racist. It gets to the point where white folks are going to have to use common sense. Without using your brain, white people, you will be erased. Let me tell you. And they're looking to erase you real fast. Really fast. With minorities and the LGBTQ folks who are transitioning into gosh darn monkeys and tigers. You better believe it. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We got a lot more to discuss. As you guys know, the liberal hounds are out. They're sniffing. They're looking for programs like mine. And they want it gone. Because they know if somebody listen to it, they going to get some common sense. They going to get some truth out the deal. So help man push out the truth. Push out the content you love and deserve. Share, hit that like button, all right? I want to go ahead and give somebody a shout out here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Robert Marvin. Took the $10 challenge on Cash App. Shout out to you. Let me go ahead and give you a shout out. Says, yes, yeah, brother. Shout out to you. Of course. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure you guys do me a favor. A little bit of a favor. Tiny favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you share, baby. Yeah. Make sure you share. Frank Williams says, what about the chitlins? I've been sure. The black folks eating chitlins too. You better believe it. Moving forward, I want to speak to you guys about Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse, ladies and gentlemen, is pissing off the left. Shout out to Kyle Rittenhouse. Pissing off the left like no other. Let me tell you. Kyle Rittenhouse unveils a new video game. Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse is so big, he got a video game now. Yeah. Yeah. He got a video game where the players shoot fake news turkeys. Yeah. You remember that game Duck? You gotta remember that on what was it on Nintendo, right? You remember that you had that little gun. Yeah, you had that little Nintendo gun, and then you put in your little cartridge, right? In the little video game system, and in the beginning of the game, you hear a dog barking, right? That's the dog that every man wants. That dog in that video game, right? Yeah, And then you see the dog jump in the bushes. When the dog jump in the bushes, you know what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's happening. Them gosh darn ducks are flying. You know it. And you know what you're doing? If you're Jermaine Boccia, you know what you're doing, right? You shooting the hell out of them damn ducks. You try to kill them. Ow! You try to kill them all. Yeah, that was one of my favorite games, along with Super Mario Brothers 3. Absolutely, the one where he had the tail. You gotta remember the one where he had the little tail, right, Mario? When he jumped, his little tail carrying him. Yeah, that was my favorite one. That and Duck. Let me go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to speak about it. I like this. I certainly do. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse. You might know me as the guy who was recently acquitted from all charges in the Kenosha self-defense case. From the very beginning, I did nothing wrong. But that didn't stop the media from smearing my name. It's time to fight back against the fake news machine. This is why I'm launching the Kyle Rittenhouse Fake News Turkey Shoot video game. The media is nothing but a bunch of turkeys with nothing better to do than push their lying agenda and destroy innocent people's lives. So go to RittenhouseGame.com and pre-order the game now and help me fund the lawsuit to stop these fake news turkeys.
It's the fake news turkey shoot. Got a laser gun going pew pew pew. Filing lawsuits. And we about to bankrupt the fake news. Go to RittenhouseGame.com. Pre-order now.
Ladies and gentlemen, my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Kim Upfold. Beautiful woman. Donated, took our challenge on Cash App. Shout out to Kim Upfold. And Kim says, I'm glad you're back and doing better. Shout out to you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely. How did y'all like that? You see why so many people miss the show? Yeah, cause we show stuff like that. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that video game there, I want to play it. I bet you I get the high score on that video game. I'm telling you, bring back my duck hunting abilities. Yeah, shooting them damn turkeys. Media liberals are upset. They upset. And Kyle Rittenhouse is using the money, ladies and gentlemen, for his defense. Yeah, he's using it for his lawyers and to push for more of his defamation case. Liberals are upset. Yeah. And you know why? They couldn't destroy Kyle Rittenhouse. They couldn't. Kyle Rittenhouse is still here. They tried everything in their mama to try to destroy him. They even had Joe Biden, right? Quote unquote, the president, call him a white supremacist. You guys remember that, right? And guess what? It still didn't work. So they weren't able to get rid of Kyle Rittenhouse. They weren't able to get rid of him. And then on top of that, he's pushing a video game that has to deal with guns. Yeah, shooting fake news turkeys. And then on top of that, you're calling them fake news. And, their symbol will be on a gosh darn turkey, and you can shoot it. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that's something that a lot of the liberals do not want. I'm telling you that. Eat all, save none for later, so that I should show it again. Let me show this him shooting the turkeys. let me do it. What's so funny about it is you can hear Kyle Rittenhouse rapping too. See, that's why black folks need to be taken off the radio. You got white boys like Kyle Rittenhouse trying to rap now. I mean, gosh darn it, all we need is a album, a Kenosha album. Let me go ahead and run.
Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse.
I want to run this again because I think this is lovely. This is real lovely. I want you guys to see this again. Here we go.
But that didn't stop the media from smearing my name. It's time to fight back against the fake news machine. This is why I'm launching the Kyle Rittenhouse Fake News Turkey Shoot video game. The media is nothing but a bunch of turkeys with nothing better to do than push their lying agenda and destroy innocent people's lives. So go to RittenhouseGame.com and pre-order the game now and help me fund the lawsuits to stop these fake news turkeys.
It's the fake news turkey shoot. Got a laser gun going pew pew pew. Follow my suits. And we about to bankrupt the fake news. Go to RittenhouseGame.com. Pre-order now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Rittenhouse coming out with an album. It's going to be called the Kenosha Shooter EP Volume 1. Yeah, I'm telling you. How much you want to bet? Kyle Rittenhouse going to come out with an album. You think I'm playing? Yeah, it might be called Fake News Turkey Shoot. It might be called the Kenosha Shooter EP. Gosh darn it. Kyle, the world is yours. Ain't that hilarious? He said Kyle Rittenhouse Turkey Shoot. The gun go doot doot doot. Oh my goodness, the man was rapping on there and everything. I'm telling you, you liberals had done something. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't care who get mad at that. That's hilarious. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who donated. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Pookie Martinez. Pookie Martinez donated through our Rumble app. Pookie Martinez says, $10 challenge, Roe v. Wade resting in pieces, Harry Blackmun and burning in hell. Shout out to Pookie Martinez. Absolutely. You ain't lying about that. I can tell you that. You ain't lying. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Shoot. Maybe one day we do a Conservative Nation Kyle Rittenhouse turkey shoot match. You get what I'm saying? We'll have like a day where everybody get online. We play, that turkey shoot. We'll see who get the most. Shout out to Kyle Rittenhouse. Boy, I know he gonna catch hell for that one. Already. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. Absolutely. Moving forward here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about Secretary, Medical Secretary Rachel Levine. You guys know that it was not medical, the health secretary. Excuse me. Health Secretary of the United States of America, Dr. Rachel Levine, had a segment on CNN earlier. Actually, CNN, MSNBC. And this segment went viral. And I want you guys to take a look at this. Let me tell you, you're not going to be happy about it. You're not. Dr. Rachel Levine. Now, you guys know who Rachel Levine is, right? It's the guy who was married. He had 3 children. I want you women to pay attention to me because women get finessed by this the most. The guy had 3 children. All right, he was married, had 3 children. During his marriage, he slipped on a banana peel, okay? And then he bumped his head and said that, he was transgender now, he didn't want to be a male anymore. He wasn't attracted to women. This is what he said. I want folks to understand. That's what he said. And then when he transitioned, he divorced his wife with 3 children. And they call him a doctor, too. Call him a doctor. Divorced his wife with 3 children. Transitioned. And now is the health secretary. I want you to keep that in your mind. Dr. Rachel Levine has a message about sex reassignment surgery. Dr. Rachel Levine is saying that sex reassignment surgery is life-saving and is needed. I want to go ahead and run this. When it come back, I need to speak about it. Remember, Dr. Rachel Levine was a man, married, had 3 children. I want folks to understand. And folks are listening to him, to her, him, whatever. Take a look. Make sure you share.
Gender-affirming care is life-saving, medically necessary, age-appropriate, and a critical tool for healthcare providers. As a pediatrician, when it comes to making sure kids are healthy and happy, I know how important care that affirms someone's true identity can be.
I'm going to play that again because it sounds like BS. Let me play it again.
Gender-affirming care is life-saving, medically necessary, age-appropriate, and a critical tool for healthcare providers. As a pediatrician, when it comes to making sure kids are healthy and happy, I know how important care that affirms someone's true identity can be.
There you go. Yeah, you're not in a nightmare. You better wipe the crust from your eyes. You're alive. You're awake. This sucker says he's a pediatrician too. Sucker says a pediatrician too. What do you think about it? Yeah. The sucker says that they are a pediatrician. Yeah, a pediatrician. Claiming this type of surgery And this is the nonsense that people are dealing with. But that's what it is. That's what they're dealing with. Dr. Rachel Levine and the liberals, they have an agenda. They have an agenda. I want folks to understand that. The more children they have screwed up, the bigger the base of voters. Do you guys understand that? They know that ain't no transgender or anybody getting this surgery voting for a Republican. They know this. I want people to understand that. They know this. So for a Democrat, get a voting base no matter how you can get it. If you can trick a generation to believe that somehow God messed up and they can fix it by getting gender reassignment surgery, that's what they'll do. It's incumbent on conservatives, people who have the light of the Lord, to tell the truth. It's incumbent on us, because the liberal left doesn't care about them at all. They only care about their votes. That's why you can get a guy up here who's confused, who was married, had 3 children, and all of a sudden one day says that they're transgender. Divorce his wife with children. Instead of somebody taking that guy to go to a psych ward, they say, hey, there's nothing wrong with him. I'm letting folks know there's nothing wrong with him. And then the man is pushing gender reassignment surgery. At some point, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to get to a point where we start calling out the fakers, the liars, the people who are dumb as rocks. That's all I've done all my life. I've called people out for being dumb and retarded. There's not enough people, I believe, in this side of heaven who have been called out for being dumb and retarded. And when they're called out for being dumb and retarded, you know what happens? They come back, a lot of them come back to common sense. They really do. And that's what America needs to start doing. Coming back to common sense. And with this Roe v. Wade decision, let me tell you something. That's America coming back to common sense. It is. It is. Believe it or not, coming back to common sense. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Make sure you share. Next one up. I want to speak to you guys about CDC data that is revealing that boosted Americans are catching COVID double the rate of non-boosted Americans. I want to go ahead and run this story. Big story. When it come back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you share. Here we go.
Turning now to recent data from the CDC on COVID-19 booster shots and breakthrough infections. These stats from April 23rd of this year show boosted Americans are catching COVID at nearly double the rate of those who have not been boosted. Still, COVID-19 infections among the unvaccinated remains the highest group, as you see on your screens. For more on this, let's bring in John Moore. He's a professor of microbiology and immunology at Weill Cornell Medical College, and we appreciate you spending some time with us today. First, what do you make of this data? Is it possible unvaccinated Americans aren't testing as much, perhaps impacting what we're seeing here, the results?
That's partly it, I think. But there's also another factor that the vaccines are protecting very well still against severe infection, severe disease and death. So protection against those most critical factors, ending up in hospital or worse, that is still there. But during this Omicron wave, we're seeing an increased number of mild infections, at-home type of infections, the inconvenient, having a cold, being off work, not great, but not the end of the world. And that's because these Omicron variants are able to break through antibody protection and cause these mild infections. So one of the dynamics here is that people feel after vaccination and boosting that they're more protected than they actually are. So they increase their risks. So they feel that I've been vaccinated, I've had a booster, I can't get this anymore, so I'm going to go.
That's the liberal logic that's coming down. That, hey, the reason why the people who are boosted, the people who have been vaccinated or boosted are catching COVID now double the rates of the non-boosted Americans is because the boosted Americans feel that they are more protected. Yeah. Let that sink in. Yeah. The boosted Americans. So if you got the vaccine and the booster, right? They're saying that those Americans out there are putting themselves more at risk because they feel they are more protected than the Americans who have just got the vaccine and those who have not. This is what they're saying. Now, shout out to Dolly Shortcake. Shout out to you, beautiful. Says, science and feelings don't work together. You can see that, right? Remember, I told you, F your feelings. You can see feelings don't mean nothing when it comes down to facts and reality. So I just wanted to show folks that. I'm not going to talk too much about it before I get banned. But I just wanted to show folks what they're saying now about the nonsense. Just wanted to show you. That's them, not my words. Let's go ahead and move forward. I want to speak to you guys about Roe v. Wade. Oh, yeah. It's the Roe v. Wade. God is shining his light right now in the country. Well, on this day today, I can tell you that. He is shining his light. And there's a whole bunch of folks who are upset and mad. Mainly liberals and women. Liberals who followed a narrative, an ideology that they will follow to the grave. That's why they're mad. And you have women out there who are upset and mad. They've been tricked. They've been led to believe, hey, this is the government attacking your body. They've been tricked like that. And there's a lot of other women, and there's going to be some women who are going to disagree with me. They're going to get mad at my assessment. I could give a rip. There's a whole bunch of women out there who ain't crap. I want the women to understand, who ain't S-H-I-T, who are lazy. I want the women to understand there's a whole bunch of y'all who are lazy, who don't want to protect their body, who are willing to use the government and a lonely male who is not thinking so that you can push your agenda. If you ask the majority of women out there about this, the ones who are mad, they'll tell you that they need abortion because of all the rapes out there, right? Even though rape, when it comes to abortion, is less than 1%, right? Or incest. These women want to be able to have sex willy-nilly and not be responsible for what happens. Yes, absolutely. They don't want to be responsible for the bill that they have to pay a lot of times. And dealing with a lot of the brunt of what comes with the baby. Get mad at me all you want. It gets rid of, Roe v. Wade gets rid of, it takes two to tango. Oh yeah, ladies out there. Now it'll put the onus right back on where it needs to be. If only one person can get pregnant, ladies out there, right? You're not speaking to your brother. You're not speaking to your beta daddy. You're speaking to a alpha male who like using common sense, reasoning, and facts. Yeah. It puts the onus back on where it needs to be. Back in the day, right? In my mama's generation, not that far, women were responsible. And the women out there, the older ones, will know what I'm talking about. They don't have any issue with what I'm saying. It's just the new ones, the ones that are into child support and stuff that don't like my rhetoric. They used to know that, baby, getting pregnant was on them. So you know what the ladies back in the day used to do? The ladies like my mama, they used to protect themselves. I want the women to understand, yeah, they used to protect themselves. They also used to not have sex. Yeah, they used to lock up their knees. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, they used to lock up their knees. Absolutely. They used to do that because they knew if they got pregnant and they let a bum impregnate them, they know that it was on them. They wouldn't go and, say, hey, it takes two to tango, blame him too. No, they wouldn't do that, ladies. They wouldn't. The older women knew that the onus was on them, so they made sure to pick a man that was worthy. Nowadays, because of Roe v. Wade, that took away the responsibility from women to be responsible to themselves and their bodies. So instead of making sure that you pick a man who's worthy, you're making sure you're picking a man who can just, run and dump in you. That's it. I want to go ahead and run this clip here. This comes from, I think, Channel 5 here. 5 ABC News. Has a doctor on there that is showing women that they still have options when it comes to getting rid of their parental responsibilities. Gentlemen out there, imagine. You see how the women get mad at you because they tell you that, hey, I'm going to have your baby, and if you're not going to be here, you're a sorry POS, right? The women tell you that, right? But yet they killing the babies all day long and nobody says nothing to them. I want the men to understand something. You better start waking up. The women know how dumb you are too. Don't believe me? Ask the women. The women will tell you how dumb you are. Let me go ahead and run it. When it come back, we're going to speak on this. Make sure you share. There's a woman out there who does not like my rhetoric right now. Yeah, especially when I was speaking about, the two tango type deal. You know what I'm saying? It takes two to tango. None of that. It doesn't. Make sure you share. Here we go.
I want to bring in our chief medical correspondent and, of course, a board-certified OBGYN, Dr. Jen Ashton, tracking this with us here this morning. And again, Jen, you know I always ask these questions. What's the bottom line for women watching at home this morning? What are their options, and where does that stand in the country right now if this is a situation that you're facing or you fear you could face at some point in the future?
Well, first of all, David, I think not only board-certified OBGYNs, but certified nurse midwives and nurse practitioners and physicians' assistants, everyone in the medical profession who has dedicated their lives to taking care of women, are concerned. But we remain committed medically to providing safe reproductive health care to women. And I want to be clear, this is not just a women's health issue. This affects men.
Wow. I want you to see how comfortable the women are talking about, getting rid of their parental responsibilities. That's why I'm very honest with women. Yeah, I'm very honest with y'all because there's a whole bunch of y'all nowadays who ain't honest, who are running the system, and I don't like that. There's a whole bunch of beta males out there who brains are gone as well, that we need to bring back to reality. She is pushing out a lie because she knows that most women out there think like her. I want the women to understand that. Anyone who is for Roe v. Wade, who didn't want it to be overturned, I want you to understand, either they don't understand what's going on, or either they are satanic. They just don't care. Going forward.
These women's lives, their fathers, their sons, their partners. And reproductive health is not just women's health, it's a human health. So I think that what's important right now for women to know is, there will always be options, medical options, surgical options. The key is protecting 2 lives when a woman is pregnant, not just the life of the woman and the mother carrying that fetus, but the fetus as well. And there are medical conditions that literally put both of those lives at stake. Obviously there are.
I love it. Women are into emotion. That's why they can say these things here and then, not have any truth to it and move forward. I want men to understand, once you start bringing facts to the table, you will see these women start turning into demons. They'll tell you that they don't want to talk about it anymore. They'll do all sorts of stuff. They'll come up and make up lies saying that you're against women, you're against this, you're against that. They'll do whatever they can. I'm letting you know. That's why it's incumbent on conservatives to tell the truth. It's incumbent on good folks in the world to tell the truth. It's incumbent on men to be men. Men out there, when are you going to fight for your damn seed? These women are talking about destroying your children all over. They're talking about killing your children all over. Men don't even say nothing about it. This is how weak men are. God has given you a birthright, men. Or have you ran away from the Bible out there? Right? Have you ran away from the Bible like most women? Right? When you start speaking about the Bible, you start speaking about things biblical, right, between men and women. The women like to run. They like to say it's sexist. Men out there, when are you going to wake up to your birthright and fight for your family, for your lineage? When? Because that's what you're going to have to do. You were put on earth to lead men. let alone the women, the children will still be getting slaughtered. I want you men to understand. Let alone to the women in this country, most of them will be leading the children to the slaughterhouse. Tell me I told a lie out there, women. You know what I'm saying is the truth. That's why I don't get any pushback with this rhetoric. Let alone to most women in this country, they'll be killing the children all day long. It was the men in this country in the Supreme Court that stood up and used common sense. The men have to understand that God has given you a birthright. Stop listening to your mama. Stop listening to your wife that hate the Lord. Right? Stop listening to your sister that hate God. God has given you a birthright. Either you're going to accept it or you're going to run from it. And most men in this country have ran. They have taken their dirty ass shoes, thrown it over their damn shoulder and ran. Men have to be strong and stand up for your children. Maxine Waters came out today, calls for prohibition extremists to fight. You ain't seen nothing yet. Take a look at Maxine Waters. I want you men to understand. You're going to see Maxine Waters. You're going to see how crazy she is to fight for abortion. That's how crazy a lot of these women are in this country to kill your child, to make sure that you have no rights for your child when your children are born. Men, you're turning into second-class citizens, and you're not even noticing it. I want the men to understand. When it comes to family court, you're a second class. Most men don't know it until they go into court. Yeah, all the older guys who are 50, 60, yeah, you haven't been to court yet, or you've been there. Yeah, it hasn't really affected. I want you to know, you go there right now, you're losing. Men are treated like second-class citizens in this country. And they either going to have to wake up to the riffraff of what's going on, or you're going to suffer. And you can see they have replaced the American male with a beta male that is LGBTQ from his mama. The American male is no longer sought after. I want folks to understand that. Let me go ahead and run this.
You see this turnout here? You ain't seen nothing yet. Women are going to control their bodies no matter how they try and stop us. The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. Women will be in control of their bodies. And
women
if they
will
think
be in
black
control.
Women are intimidated or afraid. They got another thought coming. Black women will be out in droves. We will be out by the thousands. We will be out by the millions. We're going to make sure we fight for the right to control our own bodies. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
There you go. There you go. And what we need to speak to the conservatives. We need to speak to the Republicans. There needs to be a bill for men in this country, a contraception bill of right. Men have to have right to their children. And that's something that Republicans aren't about. Republicans, in this country, it seems right now we have like a one-party system. We have the Republicans who, play like they're now part of the left, but yet they're going along with the stuff that left is doing. They claim they're for family, but they really don't even fight for family. They don't. Men, I want you to understand, if you have a child with a woman and you're not married, legally that child's not even yours, even if you sign the birth certificate. I want men to understand that. This is how it's being ran here. They're running these liberal policies to take your children away from you, to destroy family. Republicans are not even smart enough to understand that and to move accordingly. That's why I say there's something wrong with them. Nationally, there's something wrong with them. And I don't care who get mad at me. Nationally, there's something wrong with them, because if they're not speaking about the things I'm talking about that are very apparent, you're running a rouge. And it's very easy to run a rouge on the national platforms, because the national platforms, you got Sean Hannity and the rest of these dumb Republicans speaking to you about, hey, that's socialism. Hey, all sorts of dumb stuff to get your mind off what's real. So folks need to start understanding what's going on. And if men took it upon themselves to say, hey, we need rights for ourselves as well, because the women have rights, right? You don't have any rights, guys, out there. You don't. Men need contraception rights. They need rights to their children. And if Republicans are not going to do this, they're not for family. You're not at all. Yeah, shout out to Regina. Shout out to you. This is a step in the right direction, just like Regina says, but yet they still do have abortion pills that, a lot of states are still using, and they can use it. This doesn't get rid of the abortion pill. Believe it or not, it does not. Now, I want you guys to take a look at what this stupid woman is saying, Nancy Pelosi. And when it comes back, we'll speak on it. Here we go.
There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one. This morning, the radical Supreme Court is eviscerating Americans' rights and endangering their health and safety. Because of Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and the Republican Party, their supermajority in the Supreme Court, American women today have less freedom than their mothers.
Today, I want folks to understand what this broad said. This broad said, because of Donald Trump, because of Mitch McConnell, because of the Republicans, men out there, women out there, I want you to understand what she just saying. She said because of the men. You didn't hear her mouth off any female name, did ya? She mouthed off the men. That's why men have to understand their birthright. Let alone to the women in this country, they'll be killing the children all willy-nilly all day long. I want the men to understand that. I don't make any qualms about this. She labeled nothing but men and Republicans. Those are the ones who give a crap about the children. That's why men have to understand your birthright in this life. You have to, because without that, your children will suffer. I'm letting you know that. Without that, your children will suffer. She didn't mouth off any female names. She mouthed off Donald Trump, number one. Mitch McConnell. She mouthed off nothing but men. That's why men have to be men and stop worrying about what women think and do what is right. You need to do what's right. Let me go ahead and go back, because I want people to see how fast she was able to mouth off Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, the rest of these Republicans. I want you to understand that.
This morning, the radical Supreme Court is eviscerating Americans' rights and endangering their health and safety. Because of Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and the Republican Party, their supermajority in the Supreme Court, American women today have less freedom than their mothers.
Today's historic Supreme Court decision is a victory for the sanctity of life. It will save countless innocent children. House Republicans are incredibly grateful for the pro-life movement's tireless efforts for decades.
Look, I am spitting mad over this. We have 6 extremist justices on the United States Supreme Court who have decided that their moral and religious views should be imposed on the rest of America.
Because the Supreme Court's decision overturning Roe v. Wade correct.
She said she was spitting mad. She was spitting mad to kill a baby.
Correcting that flawed decision finally allows states and Congress to protect life in ways that we never were able to for the last 50 years.
I was speechless when I heard just in the last hour that a conservative majority on the Supreme Court has struck down a 50-year established liberty.
But we were born in this moment for a reason.
By a vote of 6-3, the court affirmed.
Kevin McCarthy, you go to hell.
Unborn life is returned.
Kevin McCarthy, go to hell.
The people have won a victory.
Bow. Kevin McCarthy can go to hell. We knew what you did with Donald Trump. Go to hell, sir. Go to hell. Suck on Satan's teeth. Go to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you got to think about this? Elizabeth Warren said she was spitting mad. Spitting mad. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Kathleen Mary. Kathleen Mary took our $10 challenge on Cash App. Shout out to Kathleen Mary. Man, it's hot. I want folks to understand. Here in Minneapolis is about 92 degrees. It's hot. It is hot. So you can see the liberal women. They are absolutely mad. They're upset. They're saying that this is wrong. We have pushed women back, which is a lie. In our country, we have one of the most, when it comes to unmarried women and children who are fatherless. Stopping this train of destruction will definitely limit how many children are being born to people who don't want them. How many children are just being born so that they can get some sort of public assistance? Oh, and yes, ladies, you certainly do that. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys where you can trick and say that doesn't happen. It does happen. I've met women who said they've had children so that they can have their apartment. And so I know it happens for real. It's time that we start being honest with one another and start protecting family. Republicans also need to make sure that fathers are in their children's lives as well. Roe v. Wade is a good step, but that does not solve the problem that we truly have in this country. We need families to be put back together. And if Republicans are not going to do it, let me tell you something, you might as well be the liberal left. We need families in this country. Not people who are just born to individuals. We need families. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mamas for coming on here, hanging out with me. I'll be on tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central. Well, yeah, 12 p.m., yep, noon. We shall be giving you guys a good show. So make sure you guys come out, hang out with a brother. We shall have a very, very, very good time. I believe in this country we need a national holiday. Because today there's a lot of people who are very, very happy. They've been fighting for this all their lives. And this is a good direction for us to go in. So I just want to point that out there. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for hitting that like button. Everybody for sharing. All right. Everybody for donating. Let me tell you, every dollar is used to make sure that we're able to put it back into the production, pay for our platform and fees so that we can be on here and hanging out with you guys. All right. So I want to just point that out there. Absolutely. So you guys take care. Have a very, very beautiful night. And I'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care. Love you. And goodbye.
It's a YNK swag.
Aim, how you do that?